What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
What's cracking, y'all? Back with some more LeBron James content from the basketball channel, YouTube channel, Thinking Basketball. Great channel, by the way. Love the work that they do. Why isn't LeBron James aging now? I've been on the record saying years ago. Well, I guess not on the record because I didn't have anything to record on. But I've been on the record a long time. I keep saying on the record. It's just ingrained in my head to say that. But anyway, I've said for a long time now that I think LeBron James could play at a moderate to high level into his 40s. And right now, that's looking like that's going to happen. And I truly believe that LeBron James could be a quality basketball player at age 45, given his rate of decline, more so on his body than anything. And why isn't LeBron James aging? Obviously, LeBron James is aging, all right? He came into the league hyper-athletic. So at a natural rate of decline, or average rate of decline compared to another player, LeBron James on the tail end of his career has the athleticism as some players do, average players do around their prime, or something close to it, maybe something a little less. But he's still very athletic. He's still very fast. He's still very strong. He's been very fortunate to not have any serious injuries. He takes great care of his body, and his skills have still allowed him to play, right? It's not the fanciest passer I've ever seen, but he can still put passes where they have to be. Still great timing on his passes. He's still strong as hell. The league has transitioned to small ball, right? The game has changed. The rules have changed to make it easier for all the players, which makes it easier for LeBron James as he plays in his advanced years. So now he's not getting met with physicality anymore. Now, any given night, he's the biggest player on the floor at 6'8" during a basketball game, and he can barrel to the rim and not worry about, shot blockers or getting bodied by any, real centers or 7-footers like, players of the 80s, 90s, and, early to mid 2000s had to deal with. So he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. So that allows him to still be able to flourish at an advanced age. He's never been a great jump shooter. His jump shot has improved over the years. And still, it can be streaky when it comes to the jump shooting. But being that it's a lot of small ball, he can always fall back on, get into the paint, and finishing. Doesn't get as high as he used to. Doesn't finish as strong as he used to, but still finishes pretty damn good, to be honest. Let's call it what it is. He's still a savvy basketball player. Is he skilled like Kobe or Michael or Larry? No. His skills aren't like that. But he's extremely talented at his size, and he does have some skills, which is allowing him to still play and be a top 10 player in year 21. Yes, I do believe LeBron James is still top 10. Now, it's funny how a lot of people think I hate LeBron James and call me a LeBron James hater because they see one video or they only see the videos where I give pushback to false LeBron James narratives, or I give pushback to people out here gobbling up LeBron James, tearing other players down, making up stories, not giving complete context. I give that pushback with truth. And then there's also some videos where I do come at LeBron James specifically, but that's not as much as I give pushback to the Bron Goblins and Bron Sexuals. Bron Goblins is a phrase I coined, by the way. So if you start hearing Bron Goblins go around, that's mine. I came up with that. Go check my content, originator of the Bron Goblins. But yeah, that these Bron Goblins like to put out, I give them pushback. But the minute somebody sees one LeBron James video I put out that they disagree with, or they don't like, or they can't face the truth, or don't like my opinion that I back up with facts and truth, I'm all of a sudden a hater. Oh, I'm tearing another black guy down. Get out of my face. Y'all don't want to go look at my pro LeBron James content. That stuff doesn't exist anymore. I'm just a hater. I keep it consistent with everybody. Kobe Bryant's my favorite player of all time, and I have content on this channel going at Kobe harder than I ever went at LeBron specifically. Not Kobe Bryant fans, Kobe Bryant the player. So I don't want to hear that. You can take that somewhere else. Please. I'm one of the few people out here giving truthful content about LeBron James, good or bad, that don't accuse him of PEDs, that don't bring up his poor finals appearances, especially that one in Dallas. I don't bring that up. I'm not one of these guys that are diminishing his bubble ring, saying that championship doesn't count. I don't say that. I might make a joke about it just to poke fun at people, but in all seriousness, I know. But you're going to call me a hater. And I don't care about the people that do bring that stuff up, because there is some validity, but I don't say it because that's not my drive. That's not my lane. It's not what I want to talk about. You can't say a damn thing about this guy without being called a hater. Keep that energy the same on my pro LeBron James content, please. Bron Goblins, man. Anyway, let's get into this video.
LeBron James just turned 39 and is somehow still averaging 25 points per game, nearly 5 points better than the second highest scoring 39-year-old in NBA history. Only 2 players at his age have ever grabbed more rebounds per game, and only 1 has ever dished out more assists. So, how is he doing this? How has LeBron pushed back Father Time better than maybe anyone ever? There are a number of factors that contribute to great longevity, but let's start with the mind. At this point, LeBron's brain is a basketball supercomputer, having seen just about everything imaginable across 2 decades, and sometimes it feels like he knows what's going to happen before everyone else does. When James was younger, he was one of the most explosive athletes the sports world has ever seen, and he's lost some of that burst and bounciness over the years, but he makes up for it cognitively, knowing when to slow down and fake defenders out with a change of pace. At 39, he doesn't have to out-jump everyone, but just use his eyes to get them off their feet and find a teammate. And it doesn't take elite quickness to time up a perfect cut, reading this double team, knowing the paint defender's occupied with another teammate, and darting into space for some easy offense at the basket. He instantly knows personnel reads, like ignoring Russell Westbrook on the outside on this play because he's a 29% shooter on pull-up threes, or not overcommitting to a mediocre shooter in transition here because he knows this is a tough matchup for Austin Reeves, so he can come help at the rim. He also knows player tendencies. Watch him sit on Julius Randle's spin move here, or which guards will look to kick out if you hop toward their drive in the paint. And in that sense, his memory is a great antidote to fight aging. He apparently watches a ton of games on off days to scout opponents.
No, I watch all of them at the same time. I'm serious.
No, I believe you're right.
I can watch every last one of them at the same time.
And he can rattle off sequences from games like their song lyrics.
I saw the last, possession, tie game. Well, Kyrie went up 3, hit the 3. Cat came back, tied the game. Kyrie got a pick and roll, got iced. Pocket pass to Jared Allen, missed 2 free throws, rebound Torian Prince, block shot. Andrew Wiggins missed overtime, so I watched all the way until Kyrie missed the You want me to keep going?
No, I hear.
I watch every game.
Believe me.
I pretty much know what happened.
Yeah.
There are numerous stories over the years of how he knows the plays teams are running, sometimes better than the opponents themselves.
He started calling the sets
Yeah.
out like Rondo.
Yeah.
He coming off the whatever. We're going to switch this.
This guy was looking in your mouth like right there and just calling it. It was telling the players exactly what was going to happen on the play that you called.
It was a play we was trying to run, and one of our teammates forgot the play, and Brian told him the play. It was some crazy stuff. We called it a play. He was like, "What?" And Brian told him what our play was.
We saw this in the playoffs last year, where the Nuggets love this after timeout play to open up the paint for an Aaron Gordon lob. And when they tried the exact same play in Game 2 against LeBron, he sniffed it out and played the lob instead of the shot. And think about how insane it is to run toward a Nikola Jokic pick and roll and then leave him as he's coming downhill. But that's exactly what LeBron does, because he knows the play from watching so much thinking basketball. I'm totally joking, of course. LeBron texted me and said he only listens to the podcast. This one's from Game 4 versus Golden State with a 3-point lead. And the Warriors want Draymond Green to drive and draw Anthony Davis over so Klay Thompson's free in the corner to tie the game. But LeBron's all over it, telling Davis to get to Klay, and then contains his man perfectly, and that destroys the play, and the Lakers held on. He calls for an off-ball screen here to set up a backdoor lob, but the second defender switches and protects the paint, so James counters by flaring out to the corner and just drilling a three. And ball skills are another way to stave off old age in basketball, because better shooting makes you, well, better. LeBron came into the league as a below-average outside shooter, but he steadily improved over the years to grow into a good outside shooter, making 41% of his wide-open threes in the last 5 seasons, adding a ton of range to his shot, and improving in more dynamic situations, like handoffs or moving into catch-and-shoot options away from the ball. He's also polished and maintained specific mid-range moves, like this fadeaway going in every possible direction. Losing explosiveness has chipped away a little at his passing. He can't always find the right angle or hang in the air, but he's still crafty enough to manipulate defenses, looking to the corner to move this defender out of the paint and open an easy dunk. Because he always seems to know where everyone is, if he can't outjump a shot blocker, he'll find an open teammate. And he's still 2 moves ahead out there. Every Clipper's near the baseline here, so LeBron's ready to uncork an outlet up the middle of the floor for a run out. He's learned every angle of the pick and roll game. The big man doesn't back up here, so he lobs it over the top to Davis. But later in the game, LeBron comes off the screen and slows down, which gets the big man to shift slightly toward AD, opening the bank for LeBron. A lot of these passes aren't about quick twitch athleticism, but timing and manipulation, so LeBron can use guile and sleight of hand to set up teammates as he physically declines. So he doesn't have to leap over defenders anymore when he can Jedi mind trick them right out of the way. He hits the brakes around this screen, fakes the pass, then finishes it himself. And remember, he's basically doing this as a power forward out there, which gives his team tremendous lineup flexibility because he's huge and size ages well. Most players with great longevity have been giant, from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Karl Malone. And LeBron has a similar build to Malone and has learned how to throw his weight around over the years.
I'm picking up LeBron full court, and it's like the end of the quarter. So like I'm trying to be pesky on the ball, and he just put a forearm on me, and I'm like, oh my God, this dude's strong as
That means he has point guard skills, but if you switch his screens, he'll immediately attack a mismatch like a big man. And he's so big and strong that even at 39, Jalen Green jumps out of his way instead of taking a charge. And Jalen heard that freight train coming and leapt right off the tracks. James also uses that strength on defense because when he rotates onto centers, he can just stonewall them with his power. And there aren't many players in the league strong enough to bang with Joel Embiid like this and agile enough to reposition when they change the angle of the pass. You also can't teach height, so he'll always have that 7-foot wingspan to protect the rim. And you can see how that length still matters on a chase down block like this, where he's reaching toward the right side of the rim to block it, but his arms are long enough to get it with the left. And this is exactly what he did against Andre Iguodala in the 2016 finals, only the reverse never came. And to just be in the same ballpark vertically 8 years later is a testament to his training and straight line athleticism. He's certainly lost lateral quickness, and he can't quite start and stop at the same speed anymore, but LeBron's still one of the fastest players in the league when he starts revving the engines. He's always been a blur in the open court, so 80% of his peak speed is still really fast, and I've always wondered how much that football background contributed to his breakaway speed. But LeBron's also been maniacal for over a decade about maintaining his body. He rarely gets injured. My personal theory is all the flexibility and core training that he prioritizes basically bulletproofs an already bionic body. But he's also obsessive about recovery. Listen to any interview about his $1 million training, and recovery constantly comes up. Sleep, post-workout nutrition, compression tights, cryobaths, and on. So maybe James has unlocked the fountain of youth. Maybe his genetics are just that far ahead of everyone else. And maybe exercise science has progressed so far that all great players will just play longer. Kevin Durant's averaging 30 points a game, which would be a new record for 35-year-olds. Steph Curry is about to turn 36 and still scorching defenses with his relentless off-ball movement and outlier shooting. But all these players have something in common: extraordinary skill, craft, and dedication to the sport. And in LeBron's case, his size and especially his mind and Yoda levels of knowledge give him advantages even as his body slows down. I don't know how much longer he can keep this up. He might be able to do it for a few more years if he stays healthy. But I do know that for a 39-year-old to be playing like a top 10 player is both incredible and unprecedented. So even if Father Time is undefeated, he's at least lost a few rounds thanks to the incomparable LeBron James.
Yeah, notice when he was talking about his when he's left open for jump shots or open for 3-point shots, whichever one he said, he's like, oh, he's shooting 41% on open shots. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right, because there's a reason why LeBron James is open. Is because players place, or teams, usually their defensive scheme is to play sag off defense on LeBron and let him shoot, because they know he may or may not be hitting from the perimeter, but they'll take their chances with, luring him into taking an open jump shot and then rushing him once he commits to the shot, then trying to have him cause havoc in the paint. So, yeah, on open jumpers, yeah, he should be shooting at least 40%, whether it's a three-pointer or somewhere in the mid-range. And then the little blurb about Joel Embiid. Now, I wish he would have added the other Joel Embiid stuff, because I knew they would find one small clip of him having one successful play against a legitimate big, but I've seen in previous games, because I always talk about when people say LeBron James guards 7-footers, LeBron James guards centers, like, slow down. Small ball lineups, they will start LeBron James or put LeBron James as center, because now there's a size advantage, right? He's not getting played at center as a primary position against a Joel Embiid, a Joker, a DeAndre Ayton, whoever. That doesn't happen. In a switch-off situation, yeah, he can switch off and cause havoc for a couple seconds or for one possession. But I've seen him get switched off on Joel Embiid and other legit bigs before, and it was not good for LeBron. They backed him down. He was screaming, calling for help, as he should be. He shouldn't be able to stop them. This is not a slight against LeBron. It's just me telling the truth. And it was funny because I was watching this maybe 2-3 years ago, and he got switched off on Embiid. It wasn't Embiid fighting for a position so that he can get thrown an entry pass like in the video there. It was Embiid has the ball in his hand, back to the basket. LeBron James, forearm on the back, and Embiid just proceeds to terrorizing him. And he's just like, help, help, help. I was like, there you go. There you go. But great job here by Thinking Basketball, nonetheless. Hit on some of the points I talked about. And, yeah, man, as long as this guy's body can keep up, the sky is the limit, man. The sky's the limit. And the league, it's a league that favors LeBron James' trajectory and his health, too. So we'll see what happens. The years will tell us more and how this LeBron James story unfolds, all right? LeBron James, folks, in my opinion, not the greatest of all time, but he's in my top 5, all right? Appreciate y'all for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, check out our LeBron James content, and yes, for you hardcore LeBron fans and Bron goblins, there's going to be stuff in there you do not like, whether you want to accept it or not. But there's stuff you like in there as well, too, all right? Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.